Probably should have gotten a different shirt
It's fine.
and fixed my hair.
I need to bring tape and tape up your cables again.
What's that?
I need to tape your cables.
Oh yeah, I did notice. I was like, where did this tape come from?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I feel like we just went
This is
back
what
in
happens.
time.
This is what happens when we go live, folks.
We can tape it another time, Kenny.
No, it gives you more time to find a hypothetical.
No, I have one. I was prepared today. I had a hypothetical. We're ready to go.
All right, folks, we're live. This is happening. Let me fix my hair now. Okay, so we got to share the video first before we can start the show. So share that. Share on my news feed. Please watch us.
What episode is this?
59.
Calling it quits at 100. That way we could say we successfully had a 100 episode podcast done there. We've done everything we ever wanted to do. We've accomplished what we wanted to accomplish.
I don't know, because our bank account is not so good. I don't know if that's exactly what we want to accomplish. All right, I got to scoot over here a bit more. All right, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Hey, Matt.
Kenny.
How do you feel about conspiracy theories?
Ooh, I love them. The juicier, the better.
Yeah? What are some of your favorites?
The typical landing on the moon.
Okay.
The Kennedy assassination is always good. Area 51. I'll tell you which ones I'm not too interested in. I'll pass on them.
Okay.
Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot. Those, meh.
Really wish I would have prepped you on that. Second question, Matt. How do you feel about makeup?
I don't wear any, so I can't say that.
Well, what if I told you there was a company that combines both conspiracy theories and makeup together?
I would ask, how do those go together?
Well,
Kenny?
it's thanks to our brand new sponsor, Declassified Cosmetics. Our friend Marissa, who's a loyal listener, reached out to us, let her know that she's starting a brand new makeup line that focuses on the weird, the creepy, and the conspiratorial. So she's gonna have a line that like all the palettes and everything will be focused off of like Bigfoot. She'll have a Bigfoot line.
Okay.
She'll have an aliens line, like so in Area 51.
Okay,
There probably will be a Loch Ness Monster one.
But these are makeup palettes that are used to do like that.
Yes.
Makeup.
So her and her partner are actually makeup artists, and they've worked on some of the bigger theme parks around here. And they're gonna it's gonna be a makeup line, so you can like dress yourself up inspired by your favorite conspiracy theories, your favorite horror stories, your favorite creepiness. So it's catered towards the creepy and the weird, and it's all vegan. It is cruelty free.
People are eating this stuff.
What?
Vegan?
No, it's not made with any animal byproducts, so you know that when you're putting it on your face.
I knew that, but I wasn't sure if our listeners knew what that meant.
You hear that, folks? Matt does not have a really good thought about who our listeners are, but I do. Anyway, declassified. Wow. Declassified Cosmetics. You can check them out, declassifiedcosmetics.com. They also have a Facebook and Instagram page that they're promoting it. They don't have the products out yet, but they are coming soon, so you can be the first in line to get your level of cosmetics. And I'm trying to convince her to make a 2 moose line.
There's nothing conspiracy about that, though.
It doesn't matter, but we
need to start. We need a whole new. You know what we got to do then?
Let's
have a new segment that's just we peddle conspiracies.
Well, Marissa would want to be a part of that and promote her line and talk about it. But let me say this. We are weird and creepy, and that qualifies for Declassified Cosmetics.
I bet you there's a subreddit we could lurk and find some interesting conspiracies.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But we'll go down that rabbit hole in a bit later. Again,
and then you know what we do before the segment? We play the Unsolved Mysteries theme, and it's all super creepy.
All right. Declassifiedcosmetics.com. Check it out. Give Marissa a shout out. We'll be posting that information later tonight. Declassifiedcosmetics.com, our brand new sponsor. In the meantime, enjoy the show.
I want that classified stuff, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 7 acknowledged wonders of the world. You are about to witness the 8th.
So you want things classified, which means you don't actually want them.
No, I want that deep, dark, classified information. Declassified means it's you guys are ready for this now. I want the stuff that we're not.
I don't
ready
know.
For.
I think declassified.
I want that we're not ready for stuff.
The not ready for prime time conspiracy theory.
You know when the song comes on before the basketball game.
Are you ready for this?
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So that's the stuff that we could be peddling.
Okay, that's pretty good.
But
yeah,
I want that stuff that you ain't ready for.
if you heard our pre-show, we were talking about the declassifiedcosmetics.com, a brand new sponsor. It is Two Moofs. Welcome to the show. I'm Kenny.
Matt.
And this is episode 59 of Two Moofs. Will we end it at 100?
We might as well. We might as well power through.
Will we even get to 100? That's really the bigger
We'll
question.
power through.
You can always check us out on our Facebook page, watch us live, which we stream there, our YouTube page, subscribe to us on YouTube to watch any video shows, as well as you could text and email us. Text us at 347-MY-MOOFs and email us show@twomoofs.com. We have a amazing text that came in from a 321 number. We
Do you
got
know who it is?
on our texting line. No, they didn't identify themselves. But we got a text in. What is the weirdest thing you've ever gambled on? And we gamble
Weirdest?
on some pretty weird stuff.
Weirdest stuff.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now. I have one that is definitely weird. So,
Go ahead. I think of some stuff that's just funny, but
So-
I don't know about weird.
So back in 2004, when Pope John Paul II had died, and they were trying to figure out who the next pope would be, they had some gambling lines on the next pope, and your boy might have bet on who the next pope would be.
I know that whenever we went to Vegas for March Madness, we gambled on whose luggage would come off the conveyor first.
Yeah, that was always a good one.
I mean, that's just you got to get it started. That's like getting the blood flowing.
I like that.
Weird though that if you've been to a casino lately, they have the game of war. Straight up,
yep.
They flip over their card, you flip over yours. Who's is higher wins. I mean, an idiot. You don't even have to do anything.
That's pretty dope.
There's literally no decision making other than just put down your money. do you want to gamble?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's necessarily weird because
That's
it's
not
still a card game, but I would think betting on who the next pope would be is probably degenerate level gambling.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the death pools.
Oh, yeah, those are weird. Have you ever participated
No,
in
I
one?
would. I think that would be
So
fun.
you would?
Yeah.
Okay. Who would
Like-
you put your money on?
I mean, here's the thing: is do I just present to you a list? A pool of 10 people that I like that could die next, and then you could present yours, and then that's it? Or do we just collectively get 20 people, and you pick, I pick, you pick, like round robin?
It's a draft
Not round
system.
robin.
So
Yeah,
I think
draft.
all of you guys submit names into a pot.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. You have to have the combination of who I think's going to die and then just random celebrities that
Yeah.
have no chance, but then technically you could be in your pool.
Like, okay, random person I just thought of, Tracy Morgan.
Okay.
Do you think? I mean, it would not be unheard of to
It
hear.
would not.
In the next couple of years, he just has a heart attack. I don't know. Who knows how healthy he
No,
is?
don't get me wrong. We don't want this to
No,
happen.
Tracy Morgan is great.
Yeah. Although Matt, if he puts money on it, might.
I mean, I'm not rooting for nothing.
Yeah. And then on our Facebook page, too, I posted this yesterday, the wine pairings with all the different sort of fries. If
I
you
did not
noticed,
see that.
if you noticed, curly is not it. But yeah, if you're having a crinkle cut sweet potato fry, it pairs very well with the Sauvignon Blanc. And
Who did the study on this?
and
Who,
then
who put this together?
if you have the Yukon Select, like those thick fries,
Okay.
that goes with some bubbly right there. For those of you red wine lovers, a nice Chardonnay, or I'm sorry, a nice Cabernet would go with your waffle cut.
Okay.
A nice Chardonnay with a waffle cut fry. Anyway, but yeah, you
Well,
can.
what other white wines are being paired up? Like, what kind of fries are the white wines being paired up?
Let's see. The
What others?
oven baked crinkle would go with a Chardonnay.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So our Facebook page, text, emails, always are a way to get a hold of us. We got some lots of stories to tell you, so we're just going to get
some
right into
interesting
it.
stuff has happened lately.
So for those of you who saw, obviously we posted it on the site, and then who donated and participated, that was awesome.
Yes.
We did the Undie Run last weekend. The collectively, Orlando raised over $22,000 for neurofibromatosis and finding a cure, which was
They
really
could have
cool.
over 40,000 if they went and gambled on something weird.
But yeah, so we Matt and I ran in our undies with with one listener. We were gonna have a couple of listeners. Unfortunately, our friend Jessica got in a car accident. She's fine. It was just one of those precautionary. Let's not
Right.
have her run right after a car accident.
drink.
Yeah, exactly. But we went out there with a listener and we ran around in our underwear. We dressed up
Around
as
downtown. Yep.
as Sonic, Tails, and Dr. Robotnik. So we were definitely in theme.
A lot of people were commenting like,
oh,
that's
yeah.
great. You know, when I was running downtown, I know that I was ahead of you.
Not initially.
No-
Initially,
I don't know what you were doing. I was like, what the hell's going on here, Kenny? You bolted.
Listen, I got them 6'4" strides. So your little tiny feet.
I knew
Aren't
that
keeping up with me.
I was like, there's no way you're keeping this up. But you were definitely ahead for a minute. But people that I was running by was definitely commenting on, oh, he's Sonic, like it was Sonic. And then I at one point said, Tails and Robotnik are behind me. You know.
Nice.
And
People did stop us, and they recognized us from years past. There was
Right.
someone who was like, "Oh yeah, you guys were Mario and Luigi a couple years ago," and
Right.
so we're pseudo celebrities in the undie run world.
people know us from our underwear.
But it was a lot of fun, and there were a couple of interesting stories from that. One of them, I'm not going to bring up the comment you made at the very beginning about someone.
No.
It was a misunderstanding, but
Yeah, just know, listeners, I made a comment. One thing that I do a lot is if I see somebody that looks like a celebrity or someone that that we know, I will comment. I'm like, hey, that guy looks like John, or that
but
company looks
you
like so
didn't
and so.
say the whole name.
I
You-
100% said
No,
the whole
you
name.
did not.
Anyway, I had commented to Kenny under my breath, hey, that person right over there looks like somebody, and Kenny heard something different than what I had said.
I heard what you said. You only said half the name, and half the name is a very offensive
Right.
description.
For some way, and we're not going to go into it, but when you say half the name,
It would be
it was
grossly
very
offensive.
especially at this event.
Yeah.
But when you hear the full name, it's not offensive.
Yeah, so I tried to kick Matt under the table. But the story I do want
People
to
are
talk
like,
about.
people are like, what did he say? That looks like Hitler or
Yeah, I
something?
know, right?
No.
So the story I do want to talk about, and it clowns on Matt a little bit, but it leads into our next story that we really want to talk about. So do you want to talk? Is it okay if I talk about this?
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
So Matt and I were there.
Basically, the long story short is I shot my shot.
Yeah, okay, but let's tell the story. So we it's an event. It's at a nice bar downtown Elixir. It's an indoor-outdoor place, but everyone was outdoors doing like
A lot of people were.
a dance contest or whatever. We were hanging out outdoors as well, but at the time, Matt and I hadn't had anything to eat, so we came inside to get some food,
Sat at
and
the
it was
bar,
really
ordered
just us. It was us and two bartenders, and the bartenders are in their undies too because they're promoting the cause, but of course they're in a bit more.
They're not going as far as everyone else.
Correct.
is.
Yeah. Anyway, so just to we'll paint the picture. There's blonde bartender and brunette bartender, and they're both very attractive, awesome people. They were really cool to hang out with. Matt found interest in the blonde bartender, and again,
For a little while now.
yeah, exactly. And he had known her. And so talking to the brunette bartender even said, "Hey, she's single. You should shoot your
Right.
shot."
And to be clear, that conversation with the brunette bartender was like a couple weeks before.
Yeah,
Like
so-
I had been in there for lunch and I was talking to brunette bartender server and I said, "Hey,
Yeah.
the blonde girl, what's her name?" And she's like, "Oh, it's so and so." And I had said, do you know if she's single?" And she goes, "Yeah, you should shoot your shot."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, well maybe next time I will."
So she was a great wingman, by the way.
Yeah.
So she came over, and
The brunette.
The brunette. So picture this: it's just us at the bar because we're the only ones ordering food. Because we're like, hey, let's order food now because everyone's outside.
Mm-hmm.
They're all going to end up coming inside. Let's get food now. So the brunette and the blonde are there, and the brunette is like, hey, do you guys want to do shots?
Right.
Now, and I'm not trying to humble brag here because of the amount that we raised, and thank you again to our listeners and our friends who donated it. Because of the amount we raised, Matt and I had VIP wristbands, which is basically like unlimited
Whatever we
drinks.
wanted to drink.
So because she saw that, he was like, hey, let's get you some drinks. So we did shots, and she poured around, and I was like, that's a smart move because
we
she
took it as the brunette bartender was trying to open up that door,
Yeah,
like
and-
to get at least me and
Yep.
the
and
blonde.
blonde and be more friendly
Yes.
and be a lot more okay. So that's cool. And then And then so we took the shots and we're having fun. And then I tried to help as well. Matt had ordered food first and gave him the cards.
You tried to help by putting money on, or putting an order on my tab.
No, okay. So I ordered food and they're like, "Oh, what's your tab?" And I'm like, "Hey, put it under his. His name is Matt." And so like I was trying to get that whole introduction going. And so we're doing it, and then we're eating our wings, and then Matt's like, "I'm gonna shoot my shot." And I'm like, "You go, girl." And so here's how it went down, and this is from someone. I'm eating my wings, and just picture me.
I feel like you're gonna say it in a way that
No,
is gonna
it's not.
come off worse.
No, I'm not.
Because
So-
it wasn't bad. You said at the time you said 7 out of 10, not bad.
It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. So I'm
you
sitting
said
there.
7 out of 10.
Let's do it. But you got to realize too, you said you were going to do it and you told me how you're going to do it. I'm like, okay, I didn't know when you're going to do it. So
Yeah.
I'm sitting there eating wings and then it just comes out of nowhere. And that's why like I had the deer in headlights, like what the hell? All right. So anyway, Matt, the blonde, it's just the blonde bartender now
Yeah.
who's
And
in
I
our
had said
proximity.
we had been talking a little
Yeah.
bit.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
talking about what's the other drink that people order, black cherry or mango?
White Claw.
White Claws. Yeah, I was like, someone came up and ordered like White Claw, and she's like, what flavor? And he goes, I don't know, it doesn't matter. And she gave him a mango and a black cherry, and I commented to the bartender, I said, no one orders mango. Like everyone knows to go for black cherry. She's like, oh, absolutely.
Matt had already opened up the door for conversation,
Yeah.
so this wasn't coming.
It wasn't
out of,
like straight
yeah,
cold
exactly.
out of
So-
nowhere.
So she's there and she's talking to us, and again, it's just one of those friendly bartender patron conversations, and especially we were being cool about it. We're not being creepy or anything at all. So Matt's like, hey, do you want to do a shot? And then she goes, you know what? Maybe in about 5 minutes. Now this had been a couple minutes since the last shot, so I get it. She's thinking, hey, we did shots before. Let's do shots again. She goes, you know what? I need to be responsible. I don't know how long she'd been working there or whatever. So she said,
She's like pacing herself.
so she said, in about 5 minutes, to which Matt responded, oh, I wasn't necessarily talking about right now, maybe later. Like,
and I said something to the effect of, it doesn't even have to be here.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Implying, let's go get drinks later.
Yeah.
Her response, no, thank you.
Yeah. It was pretty direct, but then I kind of rebounded a little bit, and I was like, all right, well, if you want to do let me know whenever you want to do the other shot.
Yeah, and then she did the whole, it's like, okay, maybe I'll let you know, which is code for it's never going to happen.
So then we finished our meal.
Now, again, here's the thing.
And we called her a C word.
You
Not
did,
really.
because it was
No.
funny, because, again, I'm sitting there eating wings, and all of a sudden she says no, thank you. And then I'm like, oh,
She didn't
this is
say it like
uncomfortable.
that. She's like,
did.
no.
No, she
thank
said
you.
it very bubbly. She said it very like, no, thank you.
Oh.
So, and what's funny is, our Jessica chimes in. She was our friend that missed out, unfortunately. But
Yeah, just you missed out on this disaster.
yeah. So here's the thing. Jeremy chimes in. Bartenders, it's always very difficult to figure out whether they're actually interested because they get hit on all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, they're obviously working for tips, and there's something to be said about flirting with people to get better tips. It's natural. I'm not, not whatever at all. So I agree. The reason I gave you a 7 out of 10 was, in theory, the line isn't bad. The situation is what was bad, because you have
We were also just sitting there in our underwear.
yeah, you have a propensity for always wanting to hit on bartenders, which is, and I'm not saying like every bartender, but I'm just saying it's like you always try to shoot your shot with bartenders, and I'm telling you right now, you cannot shoot your shot in the bar. You have to try to find them in any other circumstance in order to shoot your shot.
In Target.
Because
it's weird. I'm always in Target, and I just
yeah.
wait for whoever I think is a bartender in there.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You went for it. Good on you. Carrie even was super happy that you went for it. So again, you shot your shot. Again, worst thing she could say was no, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like she kicked us out of the bar. We sat there eating the rest of our meal. We had some more drinks. And it was
Plot
great.
twist, she kicked us out of the bar.
But anyway, so that's what happened at the undie run. And the reason I kind of
no, that's
wanted to bring up Matt's relationship foils here is because it leads into another conversation that, by the way, I know nothing about. I'm going into this cold.
I gave you a trailer.
I'm
last
going
night.
into this very cold, so this better be a juicy, juicy
It's
story.
just so strange.
So, Matt,
strange.
I'm going
back
to-
I want to say a little while back, like in December, matched with a girl online on a dating app, and come to find out, she was just in Orlando because she was maybe moving to Orlando from Colorado.
Okay.
Lives in Colorado, was in town, matched. She's like, oh yeah, maybe looking around. I might be moving to Orlando.
Okay.
So she must have just been in town for the weekend. I don't know. But we texted a few times since December.
And when you
know,
say texted, do you mean on the phone, or are you going through like the dating app or whatever?
through phone.
So
we did
you
we did exchange
Okay,
telephone
so you
numbers.
actually have her cell number.
Yeah,
and you've
because
been
there
texting.
was a slim chance that when she was in town, we were going to try to meet up for a drink.
Okay.
But it didn't pan out.
Got it.
So anyway, I had her number, she has mine, and like I want to say since December, maybe had a few exchanges, nothing crazy.
Okay.
And quite honestly, she lives in Colorado, so it's not, and I don't know if she's going to move to Orlando, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, but if anything, still a cool person to chat with.
Yeah,
right?
she's super
Okay.
cool. Apparently, she runs Airbnbs.
Oh, nice.
She runs Airbnb homes out in Colorado.
Solid.
So, at any rate, I get a call randomly yesterday at work, and I answer on my cell phone, and I answer it, and I, hey, this is Matthew Gunter, like thinking maybe it's a client or another attorney or something. The guy says, hey, you don't know me, Matt. My name is Alex, but how do you know so-and-so?
Let's say a fake name so we don't say so-and-so. Let's say Bart. How do you know Bart?
That's the girl's name, Bart?
The girl's name is Bart.
No, I want a female name.
No, because if I guess a female name and it happens to be right, you're going to be really upset at me.
There's no way, Just came up with a name.
Okay, her name is Onyx.
That's so dumb. So
You either have Bart or Onyx. Pick one.
So he calls and he's like, "Hey, have you met, or like Onyx? You met Onyx the other day,
That's right.
right?" And I go, well, yes, but no. I said I met her through a dating app.
Okay.
But I never met her.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Okay, well, I'm kind of the boyfriend / ex." And I was like, all right, well, this is weird.
Did he say the boyfriend / ex?
He's like, well, we've been dating on and off for the past 5 years, and I just, so he's like, I just spent this past weekend with her, had a great time, and I just want to let you know, man, she's just super slutty. She's just super slutty, but just I'm just calling. I know her password, so I went through her phone the other day, and
Oh no.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Went through her phone,
no.
and it just seems like she's talking to a lot of guys, and a lot of guys are just like sending her dick pics, and I'm like, oh, weird, okay.
Did you ask for them?
What, me? Ask for?
Yeah, just be like, I'm curious.
Well, why don't you? No.
What's my you just be like, what's my competition?
So how we said. So he's like, and so I'm just calling all these guys and just letting them know, and this is the weird thing. He goes, some I'm threatening a little bit, and some I'm finding out
Nope.
where they live.
No way.
No
way.
And he literally says, because I'm petty like that. He goes, I'm petty and I'm just kind of toxic, and so I'm just calling everybody. But you know what, man? He goes, I saw the text that you had sent. And you seem like a really nice guy, so I figured I'd be more respectful and polite to you about it. And I'm just like, okay.
You gotta be kidding me.
He's like, look, man. I mean, if you're just trying to be friends with her, I guess that's one thing. But all these other dudes sending dick pics are obviously just trying to hook up with her. So I'm just trying to tell them to fuck off. And it's just so. And I'm just like, I'm just taking it all in. I'm like, but the guy is admitting how crazy he is on the phone.
Is he at least being polite about it?
He's very respectful.
That's what's crazy.
He's like, because even at the end of the conversation, we talked for like 7 minutes, which that's a long time to
Why?
talk. Because I like dealing with crazy and hearing what crazy is
No,
like.
apparently you've been friends with me for a while. But anyway,
No, this guy.
you were
it's just,
engaging in the dialogue.
I was engaging, 100%.
Weird.
I was like, so how do you know her? And he's like, well, man, we lived together for a little while,
Okay.
and I, he was just, I wanted to hear the craziness. So, but fast forward a little bit. At the end, he's like, all right, man, well, I hope you have a nice day, Matt. You seem like a really cool guy, and whatever. And it's just so strange.
So there's a couple. Oh man,
But-
we had a lot to
Yeah.
digest here. So here,
But I specifically asked him, I said, are you guys dating now?
yeah.
Okay.
And what did he say?
He said no. He said no. We're always on and off. He goes, right now we're just friends, but we still hang out. And the reason I asked that was because for my own curiosity,
Yeah.
I wanted to know if she was like on a dating site, even though
Yeah.
she was dating, right, or even though she was with him. But when he said no, we're not, then the guy's just crazy.
So a couple of questions. One, we got our chat's blowing up on this. It goes, sounds like these two are made for each other. It's like crazy on crazy.
The funny thing is like, just from what I could gather from the girl's social media and just from the limited, talking to her, she seems super cool. Like she would, you know what she would be like? This is so weird going back to it. But when we were rating the princesses on who would be fun to hang out with, she would fall into the who was the cartoon?
Vanellope?
Vanellope.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
she was like that would be like her personality.
So, a couple things. Text me her name so I can look up her and judge her on Facebook. Another question: do you think he was lying to you? And that actually is a very good point, because what if he is the ex-boyfriend and he's trying to get her back by warding it off, but he's lying about she's getting all these dick pics, she's super slutty, she's talking to so many dudes.
Since you and I talked, I went and talked to the chick. Okay, because so I ended up texting her, and I just said, "Hey, let me know when you're free to talk for a few minutes." I said, I got to share some stuff with you.
Okay.
And she responds back. She goes, "Well, I'm in the middle of doing stuff now, maybe in a couple hours." She goes, "I've had a really, really bad day today."
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Okay.
So fast forward to
By
later.
the way, the name is very common, so I'm trying to look her up right now, and there's too many people with that name. Anyway, but so you talked to her, and
so I
she
talked
said
to
she's
her,
having a very bad day.
and I said, "Look, your ex contacted me," and she almost immediately started crying. Also,
boy.
FYI, just because it was easier because I was kind of busy, I ended up FaceTiming her, so that's how I know she was crying, because I could see.
Oh man.
So
She's not friends with you on Facebook.
No,
by the way.
we're not.
Then how am I supposed to look her up?
Because I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you her stuff.
Yeah, okay.
I
Anyway,
can find
so that brings up a lot of questions. So I'm trying to think. So this guy brings it up. One, who cares if she is talking to a bunch of dudes and if she is slutty?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's on her. Like,
So
I
she's
love
like-
that this guy thinks that would be offensive to you. Because you and I are the type of people where we don't care about that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, look, if she's matching with guy, I mean, look, I have to acknowledge that girls were probably are getting matched with so many guys.
And again,
Yeah.
and they can do whatever the hell they want. Like,
Which is
just-
funny is that out of all the people who probably don't have any interest because the chick lives in another fucking state.
Yeah.
I don't really
Okay,
care.
so she immediately started crying. What came of it? Like, what
So
was
she's
the
like,
result of the discussion?
you're like the third person who's reached out to me today to tell me this.
Oh, okay. So
she's
he truly it did.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, we dated.
How did he get access of her phone? Or is he doing
so
like iCloud
apparently,
stuff?
according to her, she goes, yes, we did. And I was trying to catch. I'm great at trying to catch people in
Okay.
lies. So disinformation to get information is sometimes used.
Yeah, I get it.
But so she acknowledged that she had spent this past weekend with him and a bunch of friends that were in town because they're all mutual friends.
Okay.
She says, hey, we're all smoking, we're bonfiring and drinking, and she's like, no doubt, passing out after a night of partying.
Yeah.
He went through my phone. She goes, no doubt. And I go, well, how
So
does
he probably saved all that info. He took
Yes.
I
Yes.
guarantee he took his phone, took a shot of
everything,
her camera.
And
yeah.
I said, so how does he know your password? She goes, my password. If you ever watch me do my fingers, swipes on the phone, the digits. She goes, it's super easy.
Yeah, 6969.
Something like that. Something like 1111. So, so she acknowledges all of that, and she goes,
Wow.
yeah, he's reaching out to just every guy friend that was in my phone, and and I said, well, how did he get? She asked me, she goes, how did he get your number to me?
Yeah.
And I go, and I say, Onyx, I said, you and I exchanged numbers a long time ago. I know we haven't talked in
Yeah.
a while, but
So he went deep diving.
that's what she said. She goes, I said, we must have talked 3 weeks ago. Exchanged a text
Yeah.
maybe 3 weeks ago. And she goes, yeah, that's forever and eternity in your text log. If you text someone and wait 3 weeks, they're down.
Oh, no,
on the
definitely.
list. So she acknowledged that he must have went really far back. So and she's just like, I'm so sorry. And she's semi crying. She's like, he's ruining. He's ruining everything. And it kind of turned a little bit lighter, and I'm like, look, don't worry about it. Like it's what it is. What it is. This guy's weird.
So it gave me, and I'll let you finish the story. It gave me a couple of, initially I was like, man, does this guy think he's going to get back with her? Like if he wards off all these dudes? And then
I don't
started,
think so because he kept acknowledging he's like, I am.
Yeah.
He goes, I am completely toxic and
so,
crazy.
then it makes me think they probably had a discussion where he knows it's never going to work.
Yeah.
He's never, so it's like
Yeah.
he's going scorched
This was
earth.
yeah.
He is seriously
This is
going
the burning the bridge.
Exactly. He goes, listen, if you aren't going to get back with me, and if I know I don't have a chance, or it could just be he made that decision because maybe he didn't think that she was talking to other guys, and then when she, it triggered him that he saw these dick pics, and again the fact that he's threatening them,
Yeah.
I think he was just doing it
Like
where,
he was calling people up, and he told
Yeah.
me he was threatening people, and she told me that one of her friends felt compelled to call police.
Oh, I would totally.
Yeah.
That's such an invasion of privacy,
So-
and the fact that he was threatening people, it would
Yeah.
immediately call someone.
I'm almost somewhat disappointed I didn't get threatened because I would have turned it up.
It's
man.
because you're too nice of a dude.
No,
you
I
should have sent
would've-
those dick pics.
so
So
this
you have his cell number, right?
yeah.
So you should be like, this is what I'm about to send your girl, and then dick pic. And send it to him.
Hey man, just want to give me the inside track. Will this
No,
will
no, no,
this will this will this work?
See,
Will she like this?
You were going it one way.
And
like,
send no. Send, should I send this one or this one?
Yeah.
And like, and it's like just slightly different
Yep.
angle of the dick pic.
There's one with like you smirking. There's one with you yeah. See, you did it in a completely different way. Like I love that you did it based off you're using him as a consultant. I thought you were trying to you know how like people like, come on, come fight me, bro, because they want to like start a fight.
Yeah.
I thought you were completely doing it to like, no, I want you to threaten me. Come on, man, give me a call back.
No,
Threaten me. I
well,
dare you.
It's trolling at this point. So
Oh,
anyway,
you
the
should
conversation.
you should totally use him as a consultant because F that guy. What's he gonna do? He's never gonna like find out.
Oh yeah, well that's one of the things I asked her. I said, so does he live in Orlando, or what? And she goes, no, he lives here in Colorado. So the conversation did turn a little bit more lighter. And I was like, so yeah, he says that you just collect a lot of dick pics.
Oh,
And
don't
she
shame
kind of
her.
like laughed, and she's
Don't
like,
shame her
she
on
goes,
that.
well, again, she's super bubbly and super funny, and she's like, well, I mean, if people are gonna send them to me, I mean, she's like, I don't like save them and keep looking at them, but like, she's like, I've looked at them. I mean, guys send them to me. She's like,
Yeah.
it's that happens. So
she's cool about
so
it.
I was like, well, at any rate, this dude obviously saw
You
them.
missed out, dude. You're too nice of a dude. When you made that conversation and she was like, well, I mean, they send them to me. I'm not going to like turn them. You should have been like, all right, well, let me send you one of mine. Or it's like, why don't you, think, what do you think about this? And boom, that was your inside track to send a dick pic of your own.
No, I can honestly say that there are 0 photos of me.
You've never
like
sent a
that
dick pic?
in my life. Never.
You've never sent
Absolutely
one.
0.
Not even one that you were in a relationship with.
If I had to send something like that,
Yeah.
I would just go online and find someone else's and send it.
No,
I'm not
man.
sending my own.
Why would you not send your own? They're going to see it anyway.
By that point, it didn't matter.
But see, then it makes me wonder. Like, even if you're in a relationship and you're just like,
I mean,
trying
I'm not dick fishing, cat
No,
fishing.
I get that, but what I'm saying is,
when you send a photo of something completely bigger or nicer or whatever, and then when they see yours, it's completely
that was
not.
going to be the name of the show title.
Dick
don't
fishing?
think I don't think Apple will let us get away with that. But what I'm saying is, like, even if when you've been in a relationship and you're spicing things
Dick
up, you
fishing.
haven't like sent a photo.
No.
Even if like you've been on a work trip or you haven't seen them in a while.
What about a work trip would compel me to make me
No, it's
wanna
like you're like, hey, I'm on a work trip. I obviously can't be with you. We're both in the mood. Let's like, keep
but
things
you can
spicy.
but you can keep things spicy without sending well, look, let me clarify. I've never sent a picture of my junk.
yeah,
okay.
that's what a dick pic is.
Yeah. I mean, I can send other photos, but
Oh,
never
Oh, there's my face.
look, here my butt cheeks.
Yeah, that's dumb.
No.
That's dumb.
Here's me and
Unless you're
my
spreading them
boxers.
open and showing the actual butthole, I don't think that's gonna work.
There was a website that was super funny back in the day called NBHNC, which stood for No Butthole, No Care, which means like unless you're sending me pictures of your butthole, I don't care.
So if some people bring up a good point, and I get it. Listen, whether you want to take one or not take one, listen. If you have nudes, great. If you don't have nudes, great. There's like, oh, my concern the photo would
here's
get out.
why. It's for me. I am in a world where if I were to ever piss a girl off
Okay.
who just happened to be fucking batshit crazy. Imagine if this dude was a girl that I had pissed off.
Yeah.
And
Was calling your other females
sending photos of me nude to colleagues, friends, coworkers, family. I don't want to deal with that.
Let me say this though, I get that there's a fear that it's gonna get out, but again, you're talking to the wrong person. I don't care if it gets out. You know what I mean? Like, but here's the thing: I've also only sent those sort of photos consensually to people that want to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it never comes out of anywhere. We try to keep things spicy and make it to where it's like, yeah, they want to see it, so I'll
Like to
send one
keep
to 'em.
things mild.
Apparently. And again, whether you do or you don't, I'm judging you specifically, Matt, just because I crack on you. But whatever. If you do or you don't, that's fine. But end resolution on this. I know that she, not that she played it off, but the fact that she was still able to like laugh about it with you, and you guys are on good terms or whatever. So like, what's the progress?
So
from this?
the conversation did turn to, should I text the guy or call the guy back and say, hey man, just FYI, look, I appreciate the call. But it's best if you don't do any of this shit any further, because I am a lawyer. Now I am a lawyer. You got to find that clip. What the I am a lawyer clip?
Yeah, it's Tracy Morgan impersonating Star Jones from The View.
Yes. And then just basically kind of threaten him back legally to say, hey, look, you need to knock this shit off, otherwise it's going to get a lot worse for you. So.
All right, well,
But that's I had not done that. I had contemplated it. And actually, she said that if I wanted to do that, if I was inclined to, I could go ahead and do that.
Oh, she would support you in that.
Yes.
Okay,
She's like,
I'm
if
glad
you want to
you're
do
at least
that,
asking
she's like, if you
about
want to do that, she's like, please do. But I had not decided whether I wanted to get involved again, because, again, if you can close that out,
my baby.
because I don't want to start some shit. I don't want this guy contacting me, because look, if I say I am a lawyer and this guy's going to look me up, he's going to, I don't want him to start fucking with me. I don't need that.
Yeah, I mean, as the prophetic line goes, if you don't want no shit, don't start no shit. I like it.
Did you find the Tracy Morgan?
No, I wasn't looking for that at all. Anyway, interesting story, Matt. It's got some crazy in it. Keep us updated if anything does occur.
Yeah.
If you get a call. Oh, we should have had the guy called live. You should have been like, hey, man, I'd love to talk about this further, but
maybe
actually,
I can set that up.
No, and you just be like, listen, I'd love to talk. Don't tell him that it's a podcast. I'd love to set this further, but you know what? This is actually my work phone. Can you call me on my cell?
But legally, we have to let him know that we're recording.
One-party state.
Yeah, Florida is you have to have.
But is he in a one-party state?
It's where it's recorded, though.
Well, get him to record it.
And then send it to us.
See?
He's that crazy.
You got to think about it. All right. So let's.
But just slightly off top. So when I was talking to her, and like I said, things are kind of turning light. And I was just like, well, hey man, I hope you're all right and everything. We got to talking about the Airbnb stuff. Dude, if we ever want to go to Colorado, this chick's got some really cool like cabins with game room, pool tables.
Do you think we can stay there for free?
Hot tubs, probably not free.
Well, then I'm out.
But
your dog's about to throw up
because he's getting himself riled up.
Yeah, well.
All right, moving on.
So let's move along. It's our new segment that we do. Things have happened since our last show, so of course we got to talk about it. It's What's Going On.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, what's going on?
If this chick ever comes back to Orlando, though, we got to have her on the show.
Oh, I'm sure, and get her side of the story.
Yeah.
And all the backstory about this guy.
We got to have them both on at the same time. We need to have her on and be like, well, funny you should bring this up.
He's been
Come on in.
No, he's been listening the whole time. We have him.
we basically have the Maury show.
Yeah, I like it. Great. So we were talking about French fries before. You and I are French fry aficionado. We weren't able to get the Arby's potato vodka.
No. What else did we miss out on, Kenny?
But the Idaho Potato Commission for Valentine's Day released a limited edition product, potato perfume. That's right. You can get a limited edition perfume.
So you could smell
made with
like
potatoes.
You could smell like a farmer.
Let's see. It was only $1.89 for it, and
Per pound.
This perfume is a great gift for anyone who doesn't refuse a French fry. So there you go, man. Would you?
$1.89 per pound.
So let me say this. Obviously, you and I have great. We love food, and I know the certain smells of food like is awesome. What perfume or cologne would you want someone to wear that smells like a food? Like, is there any food?
Let's just start going through some food. What about like Mexican street corn? That's an oddly
That's
specific.
very oddly specific.
Yeah, I feel like that would. Okay, how about you just said popcorn, butter popcorn? Is that a perfume? If you're like, you smell like butter popcorn, you smell great.
Yeah.
Would that work?
See,
You smell like funnel cake.
so let me say this: the butter popcorn. The reason I would say no to that is because if you've ever gone to the Altamont Mall, they
It's-
have that popcorn stand that is way too overwhelming, and it becomes like nauseating.
What about
to do that?
What about you smell like Kobe hibachi dinner?
That wouldn't be bad. I think fresh baked bread would be a nice subtle smell. Like that'd be a nice subtle scent.
That would be on like the high end of the food cologne perfume spectrum.
What, bread?
Like, that I mean, like on the high, that's like the sophisticated. Whereas you and I are talking about potato. Excuse me, I have hiccups. Potato scented perfumes.
Interesting. Matt, we're to the next story. Did you watch any of the Winter Olympics at all?
Zero. I told you this, Kenny. Zero.
That's why I bring it up on the show. People are loving bread perfume. I think that's a hit. We
So
need
what is cinnamon toast crunch?
No, it's got to be fresh baked bread.
Cinnamon bread. Or
But
what?
yeah, but cinnamon, like you can just chew some big red and you get
That's
the
a
smell of
great
cinnamon.
smell.
Yeah, it is. But I think a bread perfume.
What if you had a
would not be-
perfume that when you sprayed it and it smelled like
Why would you want that? Is it? It's the bamboozled of perfumes. Okay, so in the Winter Olympics, I know you haven't seen it, but you know what some of the sports are. There's cross country skiing. That's like one of the big ones. Well, the men's 50 kilometer cross country skiing had a little bit of well, not really controversy. Let me just say that the person who finished it had a little bit of an issue with it. So if you ever seen cross country skiing, they always wear those really tight skin suits, and it seems like, oh, how can you like stay warm in that sort of stuff? But they're going a little crazy. But a Finnish cross country skier, trying
who
to
finished?
Remy Lindholm, he needed a heat pack to, warm his body, especially on one part of his body, his penis, which became frozen during the race. It became frozen for the second time. This happened to him before in a Finnish.
The first time is wedding night.
But yeah, it was the second time he says that his penis froze in the middle of the race, and he said it was very.
What if you're close? What if you're like 30 minutes out from getting gold and you just have to keep
Nope,
going?
and that's what he did. He had to finish through it. He I don't believe he medaled, but he said it was actually more painful when you put the heat pack on to warm it up. He says that it was probably some of the worst pain he ever felt.
I have to imagine that the technology on the suits that they're wearing is so advanced.
Oh,
and,
I'm
like,
sure.
It's got to be the best insulated, fabrics. I can't imagine you'd be that cold where you're like, it's painful.
Yeah,
at that
but
point.
twice
He should've
he's
layered
had
up.
his penis.
You know what he did? What they're not saying is he probably didn't want to put all the layers on because it weighs more, and he's trying to get a competitive edge, and it bit him in the butt or the nut.
Listen, that possibly could be.
Bit him in the nuts.
All right, and then this last story. This was a close candidate for Moof of the Week, but we're not going to do that. You know how there's like a Paris, Texas, and there's an Athens, Georgia.
Yes.
So cities can be in
There's
other
a
places.
Jerusalem, like Michigan.
Yeah,
or
there's two Portlands. There's Portland, Maine, and Portland, Oregon, right? This man who wanted to join protests in the Canadian capital over mask mandates called in a bomb threat. He was like, "Hey, I'm upset, and I want to, call in a bomb threat to this Canadian, mask protest and all that stuff." So Ottawa, being the capital of Canada, he decided to call Ottawa. So he called the Ottawa, police line and called in the bomb threat. Problem was he had called Ottawa, Ohio,
Oh,
and
so
called in a bomb threat there.
can you imagine if he had really placed a bomb in Ottawa, Canada, and he called the wrong place, and they're like, "We'll pay the ransom." They pay the ransom. and then it still goes off because he called the wrong place.
So here's the crazy part is that this dude is not Canadian. He's in Ohio. The reason why is because you know how when you do some like
Yeah.
Google searches, it like tags you in the city that
Right,
you're in.
right.
So like if you put Firehouse Subs, it would show
Yeah.
you the local Firehouse. That's what happened to him. He's from Akron, Ohio, and he put in Ottawa Police Department, and it gave him the phone number for Ottawa, Ohio's
What a
police
dumb-
department.
what a
He
dumb-
he made a couple of bomb threats. The local sheriff's office says it would ask the county prosecutor to consider charges against the man who
They should
called
charge him
the
in Canada. Just
called the wrong Ottawa.
he should be charged in Canada just for extra good measure.
I completely agree. All right, and so of course we move on from our What's Going On segment to talk about really again Ottawa bomb threat guy. Could have easily been the
Would've done
winner, but we have someone else who is our moof
Someone
of
in mind.
the week.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You little stupid and whoa.
I want to say move for the week.
You little dumb and whoa.
So I completely forgot to mention What's Going On and Move for the Week, sponsored by our fabulous sponsors. We have 3 of them now. We have Amber over at Classic Man Cuts. I actually got a fresh cut and shave. I got the little undercut going on here, so looking oh so fly. And then we also have Ashley and Jennifer over at Her Majesty Services if you want to get your place clean. And we have a brand new client, Marissa, over at declassifiedcosmetics.com, and you can check it out and get some spooky themed makeup.
Declassified.
Indeed. All right, so here is our moof of the week. We're not parents, but
we know parents.
we do know parents, and we know that obviously screen time with little kids is getting to be an issue sometimes. That kids are on their iPads or their phones way too much. And I know that there's a lot of, there's some internet service providers that have, parental controls, not necessarily for like censorship, but hey, on your phone, I'm going to turn
is this
on and
gonna
off
be
the
another
Wi-Fi.
parent whose kid spent tens of thousands of
No,
dollars on an app?
no, it's not. So, a guy in France was like, "Hey, I'm really upset about my kid using the internet," and it's a small town in France. And so, what he did was he bought one of those internet jammers. Basically, he wanted to cut off the Wi-Fi signal. So he bought one of those jammers, which, by the way, is illegal in all of Europe.
Oh.
And so he bought it. The thing is, he bought one that was a little too strong. It ended up knocking out the internet for 2 entire towns in France.
Wow.
Residents of Massange and a neighboring town in southwest France lost internet access from midnight to 3 a.m. Multiple days because they were wondering, like, why is the internet going out?
Why is their internet so crappy where something like that's going to knock it
No,
out?
it was that powerful of a Wi-Fi signal. And because you're talking about also a small town.
That it's going across multiple towns?
Yeah, but when we're talking about towns, we're probably talking about, like, let's say this neighborhood and my neighborhood, those are going to be 2 towns. That we're talking like remote middle of nowhere France. So they were wondering why for a couple of days from midnight to 3 a.m. no one had internet. That's when this guy was turning on the jammer to block the internet. Well, it turns out this guy faces a fine of 30,000 euros and up to 6 months in prison for causing the mass outage
Yikes.
because they contacted the internet service provider and they're like, no, our internet's working just fine. And then they researched
You
it.
should make a son pay for that.
Yeah, exactly. But he had bought one of those illegal jammers online, knocked out the internet for an entire. That almost seems like sitcom-ish right there.
It's also concerning. I mean, if someone just set up one
Well,
of
they're
those
illegal.
in our neighborhood, yeah.
But you got to realize too, in their small town, they're
and
probably.
that's something that this guy was able to
But
buy
see,
online or
you're
something.
hardwired into this house. I guarantee in these small towns, the entire town is operating off Wi-Fi.
Off the same Wi-Fi. Like there's
Probably,
some
because again,
antenna.
it's that small of a
There's
town.
one Starbucks just blasting out the
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
more than likely. But yeah, so imagine just doing that. What if you knocked out?
Mario's Wi-Fi.
What if you knocked out the entire Wi-Fi to your neighborhood and they found out it was you? Like, what could you possibly do to make up for it? Like, what could you do for the neighborhood to say, hey, I'm sorry I accidentally knocked out the Wi-Fi. Let me do this.
Well, you can't. I mean, if it's you can't. The financial aspect of it is, do you pay for everybody's Wi-Fi for,
But, like, would you bake them cookies? Do you think that would do it?
we're saying for 2 weeks or for 2 days it was out.
Let's
you
say...
you own 2 days worth of Wi-Fi. Pay for it
Yeah, but you have to do some sort of make good.
You know what you do? You know what? You go into the city square and you hold up a sign that says you're like an idiot or some
Public By the way, this is France, not Italy.
Oh, they're right. I don't know. I keep saying Mar. I don't know why I'm thinking Italy. So you go into the city
you
square.
do public shaming?
Yeah, public shaming, and you send out flyers to everybody at like, hey, this Saturday from this time to this time I'm going to be here. You can yell at me all you want.
Okay. Can they throw tomatoes at you?
Yeah, only ripe tomatoes. None that have gone too bad.
Oh, you don't want that smush all over? No, that would hurt more though. Just getting it pelted with ripe tomatoes.
You want unripe tomatoes?
You want the ones that will splatter.
Overripe.
No, overripe. You want the ones that will splatter because
you want
hurt
overripe
less.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's just like back in the medieval times where everybody would bring their garbage food and toss it at
in the town
and
square.
boo
Exactly.
at people.
By the way, you're slowly sinking in more and more to the couch. Every time I look at the video, you're like constantly leaning away from it, which is we turn the monitor towards you so you can see these, and you still get out of frame. It's just incredible. All right,
we need a tracking.
Now it's time for our everyone's favorite part of the show. We talk about so Matt and I were in the car, and every time we hear a song, Matt tries to see if we can do a theme song for it, for Matt's Lonely Thoughts, right? And there are some good candidates, and I thought about doing the one that you and I were singing. I'm not going to spoil it
I don't
because
remember what it
I might
was.
actually do it. Oh, okay. So I might wait a bit and see if I can do it.
It's funny because after that song was over, I thought to myself, I'll never remember what song would
All
have
right.
been a good
Well,
one.
I do, and so maybe I'll do it later. But right now, I just figured, we're all in a happy place right now, and
I do remember one time we were trying to figure out Caribbean Queen.
Caribbean Queen. Anyway,
We're sharing the same dream. But we couldn't figure that one out. That was a little too tough.
So I came up with a song. I figured, you know what? This is an artist that most people just universally love. And this is probably one of her most famous songs. And so I'm like, works perfectly for it.
Jenny from the Block.
So, no. So here we go. Here is the latest theme for Matt's Lonely Thoughts.
This is Genie the Bottle. I don't know what this is.
You will.
He's up late at night and he is all alone, bored by his TV board while he's on the phone having hypotheticals wander in his head.
You're very uncultured.
Battles when Dixie John calls him a big jerk, asking the move trip to do all his work, wondering what Kenny will reply with. It's Matt's Lonely Thoughts. Won't buy fruit, he just won't get it. He is unprepared. Delays the show
So
to
who
surf
sings this?
on Reddit. Buy our merch online. We could really use the money. This segment is moderately funny. It's Matt's Lonely Thoughts. Get a sticker online for free. He is so alone. Always wants to hang with Kenny on the Two Move Show. It's the worst thing we do for sure. Did I mention he's a lonely lawyer?
The energy just wasn't there.
How can you not love Dolly Parton?
What's funny is that like once it started playing, like the intro, I'm like, this is gonna be someone I just don't know her songs, like Dolly Parton or something. I literally thought that.
It
to
is
myself.
surprising that you don't
When would
know
I have
these
ever
things.
listened to Dolly Parton?
I don't listen to Dolly Parton, but I know that song, and I know that's
Well, I
her.
know the song once I heard the chorus line.
But you at least know who people are,
Yeah.
but you don't.
If you
That's
said,
what's
if
surprising.
you said, Matt, you know Dolly Parton, right? Yes. Can you name any of her songs? No. Can you?
That's a
can
shame.
you sing
That's
the
absurd.
tune? Do you know the tune to any of her songs? No.
That's
But let me
absurd.
play this for you. Have you heard this? Yes, I've heard that.
But see, that's absurd that you can't even put two and two. Like you
I just
don't
don't
even
store
know
that information.
I don't.
There's no folder in my brain that stores that information.
It's mind-boggling that you don't know certain things. Anyway, Matt, what's your lonely thought?
Do you know what the statutes in Title VII say?
But
That
that's not-
boggles my mind.
you didn't even give me a chance to answer. So the fact that you even posed a question, didn't even allow me to answer, makes your question irrelevant.
We know the answer. Would you like the?
You do
hypothetical?
realize that the knowledge that you don't know is known by more people than the knowledge I don't know, right? If we randomly asked 100 people on the street, more people would know a Dolly Parton song than would know Statute 7 of whatever title that you just said.
Sure.
You're in the minority.
My focus
Is
thank
on-
you. I appreciate that. My focus is on more highly sophisticated, relevant stuff.
You literally talked about getting yelled at for not sending dick pics.
But that's not going to be. Look, that's another thing I don't store. Okay, dick pics.
All right.
I'm not storing any dick pics. Do you remember what the hypothetical is supposed to be about?
You told me to ask you it was about crime.
Oh, yes.
Something to do with
Yes,
crime.
yes. Okay.
Having me do your work again.
This was something that I had read, and it just, maybe a little twist on it. But okay, let's just say you are presented with the opportunity to do away with all of one specific type of crime.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you necessarily which one are you going to do away with, because obviously there's a lot of theft going on in the world, and maybe it's not as bad.
So let me say this: when you say "do away with it,"
like no, it cannot be committed anymore. Like people just
you
inherently
physically
cannot do it.
Okay, because
And-
there's two ways to think about that. There's one like let's say thievery, like theft. Oh yeah,
People don't know how to thieve anymore.
Okay, but another way with it is if you make it all illegal, then technically you've done away with theft because it's not illegal anymore.
People just don't know how to steal anymore.
Okay, so you mean people are physically incapable of doing the crime?
Right. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Now, on one hand, you have theft.
Yes.
It's committed a whole lot more than say murder, but murder is a lot worse.
Yes.
What would so you got to think to yourself, number one, what would I get rid of? Would be the best for the world, right? Here's the thing. Here's the twist.
Best for the world.
Here's the thing.
Because there's best for me, and that's completely different.
So here's the thing. For whatever you choose, you have to do it to end it all. So again, if it's murder, you have to go do murder.
You have to murder someone in
and
order
then
to
and then there's
end
no
all
more murder.
Okay.
There's no more murder. How far are you willing to go to?
But let me say this: like,
if you were like, "Hey, man, I got to do this," so you're saving forever murder.
okay, but does it have to be 1-to-1 equivalent? Like, so, and the reason I say this, so let's say you do, let's use thievery as an example.
Mm-hmm.
I can't steal a candy bar, and all of a sudden that prevents anyone from robbing banks. You know what I mean? I think you have to put a caveat.
Let's just say
there.
we'll say that's armed robbery versus.
But what I'm saying is, like, it needs to be that and lower. So if I steal, let's say, a bottle of wine, that's $100.
Right. All theft under $100.
Under $100.
Okay, it's the
Yeah.
equal or lesser
So it's
value.
Equal or less than. Okay. So
equal or lesser
there you go.
value. So if you go out and do a shooting spree, anything less than mass murder is under the murder category. There's no more.
Yeah. Okay.
So you got to do pretty bad to get rid of the worst, or you could go more light and cover a lot more ground with, like, you know what? I'm going to DUI so that no one else will DUI.
That's actually, yeah, but you have to suffer the ramifications from it, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
we're gonna throw that. That's
ooh.
a good point. We're gonna throw that. That's
Because-
an hypothetical. So if you do murder, you're gonna be arrested. You're the last
Yep.
person on earth that's ever committed murder.
Yep. Okay. So that actually brings up a very good point, because I was thinking something for the greater good
Mm-hmm.
would just be something like graffiti or litter.
Yeah. Speeding.
But yeah, but exactly. But something like simple like littering.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm going to litter in front of a cop. I'm going to have them write me a ticket. I'll pay the $100
No one
fine,
else
whatever it
litters.
is. But now no one else litters. That's amazing.
But
Do
imagine
you
how many
realize-
people will come up to you and say, "You could have ended worldwide
Oh,
murder."
you only get one shot.
Yes. You
Oh.
could have ended worldwide
No, because
murder.
then I have to
Yeah.
go to jail. I'm not doing that.
You're putting your
Yeah, exactly.
your life above
Yeah, exactly.
everything else.
Yeah, I'm not a superhero. I'm not a war vet.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but same thing with graffiti.
I'm gonna go traffic in cocaine real quick.
Yeah.
no more trafficking
But
drugs.
see, okay. That actually brings up a very good point. Let's say you traffic cocaine, no
Kidnapping,
more cocaine.
rape,
You're
child
how about
trafficking.
You let me finish my thought.
Go ahead.
So you traffic cocaine, that's no more legal. But does that mean you can't get cocaine anymore? Because the whole reason people
Well,
use
remember,
cocaine,
lesser equal value, possession of cocaine. No one.
No, but what I'm saying is, yeah, but see, I don't want to do that because cocaine is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have fun with cocaine? Why would you end the trafficking,
So what are we doing here?
dummy? So initially, I think littering is probably the one that's best for the world because you're not also talking about litter. I would literally dump like
You're gonna have mad organization against you, being like, you could have ended all DUIs for forever.
See, that one isn't bad because yes, you serve jail time and you have to pay money and stuff like that, but then eventually you're back to normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like unlike murder,
That's probably the most bang for your buck, to be honest.
I would say yeah, that would be really really good too.
But on the flip side of things, I would have to say over the past like 5 years, DUIs have probably gone down dramatically.
Oh, because of ride shares?
With the ride shares,
Yeah.
and we're soon to have those vehicles that are driverless vehicles.
Yeah, I could see that. I would actually love to know the statistics
Mm-hmm.
on stuff like that. Yeah, that's actually a very good point. But yeah, because I think you're talking about something that serves the public good. Because yes, obviously ending murder serves the public good, but how many murders are impacting a person's life on a daily basis compared to
Someone's gonna say you have like a committee that's like trying to persuade you, right?
yeah,
They're gonna say like, here are the stats on how many murders there are worldwide.
yeah.
In our estimation,
Yeah, but
someone's
how
gonna
many-
come forward and say these are all the deaths from associated with drug trafficking, stuff like that. Oh, you're looking up murders worldwide per
Well,
year.
I was going to look leading cause of criminal deaths.
It's too bad you can't do like. Can you muster up some genocide?
Actually,
Can you muster up some genocide so there's no more genocide?
so I'm looking. It's tough because they put homicide as and like lumped it all together. So like murder, but DUIs in there. Yeah, I got to find like what crime causes the most death.
What are you gonna go on the hook for?
Yeah, that's a very good
Also,
point. I think
but
DUI,
here's the thing: if you're,
DUI is probably
now here's the thing: would you want to be super genie strict about it? And so you do DUI. There's no more people just doing normal DUI, but DUI manslaughter. If you wanted to rule that out, you have to do it.
No. See, that's tough. Yeah, if we're going
the
with strict genie rule,
the genie rule.
the genie clause.
Very strict, very strict. You get what you ask
Who
for.
would win in a fight, Genie or Santa Claus?
That's another week's hypothetical.
but no,
Save that for another hypothetical.
because they both have magic, but one person's magic
Just once a year.
brings joy.
The other brings ruin.
Exactly. So whose magic would people prefer? Would people prefer a genie's magic or Santa Claus's
I
magic?
feel like a genie's magic is limitless. Santa Claus is.
Yeah, it's not
limited.
limitless.
If
They're-
you don't believe
no.
in him, you doesn't even know if you get nothing from him.
Genies are not limitless, according to the 3 rules. You can't wish for more wishes. No murdering. Can't make people fall in love. It was in the movie, Matt.
He's got the contract that says the rules.
In the movie.
So I'm probably gonna go with something I could probably, if I was prosecuted for, could probably live with and become a hero afterwards. That's how I come up with DUI. I thought DUI was probably a
Ooh.
good one.
So here's a really grim one. Technically, suicide's illegal. And that would be one if you were to martyr yourself in order to prevent
Now,
other people from
you just took
suffering.
it to a whole new level.
That actually, to commit suicide in order to prevent every future suicide might be something worthwhile. If you knew 100,000,000% for some, like if you believed in the afterlife or you were this ghost hovering around the world to make sure that it didn't happen, like that was the clause. Like if another suicide happens, I get brought back to life.
No, the hypothetical is people are incapable of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
you have to get a promise because you can't follow up on
they
it.
did-
Like at least if you
In this
get it-
hypothetical, it's guaranteed.
Okay, so in this hypothetical, you are, I believe, yeah. So see that one.
You're
might
never
be a
going to
good
come
one.
back because it's guaranteed.
No, and I get that, but yeah, it's hard to like. You'd have to trust someone. Who's this genie giving you this?
So
this rule?
so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send. I've now formally picked mine. I know what it's going to be.
Okay.
I am going to send an unsolicited dick pic.
Oh.
No more unsolicited dick pics
No,
in the
'cause
entire world.
that's not illegal.
Half the population.
It's not illegal.
I would say that it is illegal. It's no different than exposing oneself to somebody publicly.
Okay, so let me ask this: what if I were to upload a photo of my dick to like a Pornhub? No one asked for it.
But it's known that you're going to see nudity there. If I go into a restaurant, hey, get down.
According to the
If I go
crazy
into-
ex-boyfriend,
If I go into a restaurant and just expose myself, 100% illegal. If someone were to come to me and ask for legal advice and said, "Hey, this guy keeps sending me unsolicited dick pics," I would say,
But
"Go to
see-
the police. That is illegal."
yeah, but they are the ones saying it's unsolicited. Because what if you
Yeah,
got
I would say,
one?
"Look, I didn't ask. I've told him, please
yeah,
stop."
but
If
see-
you could support it by saying, "Please stop,"
But see, here's the thing: if it's unsolicited, but you like it. See, that's the gamble you take.
Wait a minute. If it's unsolicited, but you like it,
Yeah. Okay. So let's.
that's we can't go down this path because it can get real bad.
But here's what I'm saying. So you say the crime of unsolicited dick pic, it's because the person receiving it doesn't want it, right? What if you took the gamble and you're like, listen, I'm going to end all unsolicited dick pics. So you send it to someone, but they like it and they're like, this is great. And then you're like, well,
you wasted.
Now
okay,
I just wasted
got
it.
you.
Yep.
You wasted your shot.
Yep.
Well, folks, fortunately, we don't have to deal with any of this because I stand by my rule. No.
Hey, listen.
Nothing about me out on the internet.
Good on you. And if any listeners would like a dick
If
pic,
if someone should ever come to me and say I found something on the internet or
You
I
know
have
it's
this,
fake.
it's 100% fake.
okay. Well, if you find something of me
Just-
and you say is like, hey, is this you? I'll be like, oh, does it look good?
Let me know.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Well, yeah, let me show you what it looks like. You know,
All right, let's
let's compare. Here we go.
let's compare
Boom.
and contrast.
Unsolicited.
Yeah. And say,
Unsolicited.
okay, so you can see here by this vein.
You can tell by the way that the hair grows around the base.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can see if you notice it actually curves at a 22-degree angle,
This
and
is
this one is only curving at a
oddly-
16-degree angle.
Oddly biographically,
You're the-
biologically, rather.
You're the one assuming I got hair.
All right. So anyway, folks,
That would have been perfect to say I said good day.
yeah, I'm
but-
about to say I
No,
say
you
good
ruined
day.
It should have been right after
I would
my
say
uncomfortable comment.
moving along. I say good day.
Okay, let's try this one more time. So you're assuming I have hair down there.
I say good day.
A lot of interaction today.
I didn't even have it up.